Welcome to Extra Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And you join us on the first filming day of the spring. The snow has finally melted, and as a result, the ground is covered in used condoms.
That doesn't change in this park. That's always, we've actually seen a drug drop in this park. A full brick was picked up out of the bush.
Yeah.
They looked at us, they saw the cameras, we looked at them.
And they ran.
Everyone shrugged and we just...
we just went on with our day.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're joined today by the Yuzu edition GR86.
Yes, and you know, we've done GR86s. We've done 86 GR86s. But
We've done 86 of them? There has been a lot, but I don't think there's been that many.
But we should, in kitchen terms, we should 86 it at this point. Behind, no better, okay. Because, man, we talked about this car a lot. But guess what? It is still one of the last bastions of affordable car enthusiasm. And to challenge that is a special edition. Because this is the Yuzu.
Yes.
And it's pricey.
How many special editions have there been?
You can never have enough.
You can though.
There's a base of this for 30 US.
But maybe you want the special edition. It's a thing.
But you can't complain that it's pricey. That's for the special people. That's for the people that get the yes.
I
you get the toys that they never open because it's plastic. They want like
right. I have a Street Shark.
Yes. I don't know what that is.
What?
What's Street Shark?
You don't have Street Sharks in the UK? You guys remember Street Sharks,
Sounds
right?
like a dangerous place to live.
Are you kidding me? Street Sharks? God, so cool. Anyway.
A breath of fresh air is an 86, but however, this one is 48,000 Canadian. And I think about, if you want an American version that looks like this, because the usually starts at 36 in the US, but if you get the performance pack, which comes with the dampers and the Brembo brakes and the exhaust.
Well, we'll get to what this has in a second, but I just wanted to point something out.
It's
really
42
important.
US.
For that price, you can get one of these, which I did do that.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Why not?
Too many cylinders.
There's too much power and
no, hang on, you got 228 horsepower from this 2.4 litre four-pot, all right?
Yes.
And this is a bit weird because in Canada, the Yuzu is the only way to get the stuff that this has, whereas in the States, you can option pretty much all the other colours and still get the body kit as extras and the exhaust.
Right, that's very confusing to me. We were talking before we started this, and I didn't understand the conversation. I didn't actually follow it.
Basically, Canada's stupid because the only way to get this stuff is to get the one of 30 yellow car.
What do they get with this package? You get the splitter, you get the body kit, you get the wheels, you get the sax dampers, you get the brakes, you get these little black lug nuts.
Gloss black lug nuts.
And you get the exhaust.
The big fat quad exhaust.
Which is ridiculous looking, honestly. It looks cartoonized. It looks like somebody took a photo of it, went boop, boop, and zoomed in on the exhaust ports. It's cool, actually.
I have a weird thing, though. I forgive everything.
You have a lot of those.
When the manufacturer has done it.
Yes.
So you're not the guy with the Veris body kit and the Valenti lights who's just, and you sort of go, oh, poor guy, never going to get that money back. He spent too much. Whereas this is just, Toyota have gone, I got you.
But don't those guys look at this guy and are like...
No, they're jealous because they did it, all they're hipsters, I guess. They're like, we just go with that before Toyota.
Yeah. But don't look at this guy and be like, he cheaped out, he just bought it right from factory, that's boring.
Yeah, they're like, built, not bought.
There's no personality. You took your tail out of it.
For your trouble and for your extra cost to Toyota, you're still getting that body kit sort of black tape.
I hate that line. If you're gonna do a body kit, don't make it look like a body kit. Just make it look like it's a different body on the car. This looks like they stuck on, anyway.
Overall, I think it looks really good. Yuzu is citrus, I like citrus.
Yeah.
And if you're complaining about the price, just don't get the special edition. And in America, actually I think it works out even more if you don't get the special edition. If you want all the same stuff in a different color, it's more. So the Yuzu is a cheap way to get all that stuff.
I think I followed that. So, should we drive it? Yes, we should.
Yes, but it's just a Hakone edition with an exhaust and a body kit.
Yes, but it's a car that I like to drive. So, we'll drive it.
Let's drive it.
That's the whole point, right?
Throaty.
Sure is.
4 exhaust tips. 4
of them.
That's Golf R numbers. It's almost Golf R price, actually.
Ooh, it's peppy.
Oh yeah, these things are not slow.
All right.
6.1 seconds to 60, thank you very much.
5 or 6 seconds to 60 is my first sports car number. You don't want any faster than that.
But I don't think, that's what I mean. I don't think it's even my first sports car. It's, I can ring this out on the road.
100%, 100%.
You can put your foot to the floor. Can you?
Yeah,
We've got a lot of rubber these days.
There we go. That's foot to the floor.
Okay, so it's not rapid.
No, it's not. We were going up a hill. We were going up a little hill.
It was cold.
I was in the pool. Yeah, it's
That's a lovely amount of power.
In terms of power, the upgrades that were made a couple years ago, right? I think that they really helped.
Massively. You mean the displacement jump?
Yes.
2.4 litres.
Like getting rid of the torque dip, the whole thing. We talked about this ad nauseum at this point, but it is worth, I suppose, reiterating that. Like if you love this chassis and you love this car and you're thinking about upgrading from the original one to the quicker engine,
yes,
it's probably worth it for the power. Not worth it for the steering though. This is not.
It's still bad. One of the best.
It's still one of the best.
Which is just a sad state of affairs.
But it's just not as good
it's not
as it was, annoyingly.
Quite boomy, that exhaust, quite droning.
It is really boomy. All right, let's see. We're going to go into
I remember
cruising.
the Hakone edition didn't have a very aggressive exhaust.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 3,000 RPM it starts to...
that's annoying.
The Hakone edition didn't have that.
No, it did not.
But it also wasn't that different sounding at all. So who cares about the special edition then?
Exactly, that's what I've been saying.
But who cares that it exists? Toyota's providing the option. Porsche lock the naturally aspirated formula behind allocated GT specials.
Yeah.
You can still get the base of this. You can still option all the things this has, I think minus the yellow, without getting a special edition.
Yep.
All this is a flavor. It's like turning up to an ice cream van, but if you order raspberry, it's called the framboise. It's Pokemon Yellow. You get to choose Pikachu following behind you, but you still get to play the same game. So if by adding a special edition here or there,
I'm going to do an overtake. Oh, he's pulling over, so it doesn't really count. That's okay.
That's Toyota respect. Thanks for our fault.
Yes.
If by doing a special edition, Toyota are reinvigorating the crowd for another minute. This is DLC.
I think this car is important because it represents what we need to do as car, but not you and I mean you, all of us.
No, I bought a brand new MX-5.
Do not go gently into that good night. You have to buy these cars.
Yeah.
It's important to preserve why we do this in the first place. And there's not that many left, and it's really, really frustrating. You know,
I wouldn't buy this car.
No, not this exact one.
Because I would buy an MX-5 again. I find it to be a more joyous car.
Right.
It has less practicality. It doesn't have the 2-seat. I used when I had what did I have? BRZ. When I had a BRZ, I shoved people in the back all the time. And I just left them there.
They're still there, actually. Yeah. Controversially, if your goal is learning rear-wheel drive and track driving, you're better off with one of these than you are an MX-5.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, that's fine.
But you are. But you don't need to do that, so you got one for cruising more, right? And that makes sense.
Yes.
So if you are in the market for something that you need to, I'm not going to recommend this car again, I've recommended it a million times in my life, but the point is that...
Any 86.
Any 86, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
These cars still matter, and we're actually seeing, dare I say, a bit of a resurgence.
Yes, we are.
In some of these cars. We got the Camaro coming back.
Camaro's coming back.
Maybe.
Nissan are trying to put money behind the Nissan Z.
They're not giving up on it, and that's what matters.
There's a manual Nismo now.
It's the soul and the heart that keeps it going. And I think that, what is it?
There's maybe an MR2 coming.
Maybe an MR2 coming. God, that would be good. Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine a new, affordable, lightweight, mid-engine car? I can't even...
Because what is there for that?
There's nothing.
A used Lotus Elise where the prices are ridiculous now?
That would be... Because that is another art entirely, is driving a mid-engine car really fast.
Okay, so
right?
Bring it back to this.
Yes.
Manual rear-wheel drive. What is there now? Because this is manual, naturally aspirated rear-wheel drive, lightweight.
Well, there's the Mustang.
Okay, so you just lost lightweight and... Well, okay, yeah, Mustang GT.
GT.
You got a naturally aspirated V8, yeah.
Yes, but
because the EcoBoost, which is a turbocharged four-cylinder, is now not a manual.
That's right. And what else is there?
This is quite close in price, actually, to a base GT.
Squirrel, decide, thank you. Yeah, it is, actually, yeah. And a GT is got a lot more power. Yeah. It does have a lot more power.
And sounds really good.
Yeah. I don't know. There isn't really much else. There's like a 2 Series, but there's no manual.
Yeah, so
is this it? This is it. This is the only thing.
And, did we forget the most important thing about this?
Oh, is it the interior?
Yellow stitching accents.
And yellow perforations on the seats.
Yeah.
Question, if James Engelsman was going to make his perfect special edition of an 8.6, what would it look like?
Interesting. Okay, so it would be an 8.6. It wouldn't be the BRZ. I prefer the 8.6 front.
Yes, I agree with you.
I'd keep a ducktail. I love a good ducktail.
Yep.
And I think a matte grey.
Matte grey, ooh.
A lot of the people who really modify these go
nice.
Overboard with matte grey, but I think a clean matte grey.
Yeah.
With just this sort of body kit, maybe a bit less.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I do this body kit.
Interesting.
I would use the old steering wheel without the buttons on it. I don't need that increased functionality. I'd rather have increased minimalism.
Yeah, I do not like this steering wheel visually and the way that it feels. The previous one was better, thicker and better.
But that's the only thing I would take from the previous car.
Interesting. Okay, so
I would do, and I'd have slightly less grippy rubber.
Ooh, good point. I forgot about that.
Just because it makes it feel higher horsepower.
Yes, it does.
When you reduce the grip. And
yeah, I mean, one of the big things when this car came out is that it was on premises.
Yes.
So you could slide it
everywhere,
around easily.
every stop sign,
Constantly
sideways
skidding
all the
it, yes.
time. Turned every day into a snow day. All right, what's your special edition?
Interesting. I think I would do one of the dark greens. Right.
Is your special edition just the Hakone edition?
I do like the gold wheels.
With a tan interior?
With a tan interior!
Yeah, okay,
Thank you, yes.
All right, well, here's the good news. Yours is called the Hakone edition.
Yeah.
Would you do,
I love that spec.
what about exhaust? I don't think I'd go for a boomy exhaust.
I wouldn't do a
like
boomy
this.
exhaust.
But I want the 4 quad tips. I want it.
Here's you want 4 quad tips?
I want 16
Oh my god! Are you nuts?
I want a whistling diesel bastardized thing, yeah.
Ooh, ooh. Well, you can feel it transition from understeer to oversteer so nicely.
Lovely.
Anyway, I think that this car doesn't sound good kind of no matter what you do.
True.
That's
so
how
you'd sign EV.
No, I don't want that. I do want some noise. But I don't think I would try and accentuate it. The only thing I've ever heard out of these cars that I like is doing an unequal length header setup.
You're doing this to the car. Just bring it down.
Yeah. No, I would do an equal length header? An unequal length header. I do an unequal length header, because then you get like that warble.
I knew the word warble would be coming up.
Because it's the only. It literally is an onomatopoeia. Warble. It's in the word.
But here's the good news.
Yes.
The GR86 is universally understood as just a brilliant driver's car. You haven't got to change it.
You don't have to change it.
Get any version of it.
No.
Okay, so remove drivetrain.
Be a lot lighter.
Remove force induction. It would, yeah. Remove force induction from the equation.
Yeah.
You have to spend 40,000 US, 45 Canadian on a fun enthusiast car, used or new. First question is, where does this rank?
Used or new?
Used or new. If this is in that list, where does it rank? And what's number 1?
That's a big challenge. Well, I put my money where my mouth is already.
The Aston.
I don't Aston because I don't want to go on and on about it, but it is a front mid-engine dry sump transaxle. Like, it has elements that you can't get at anything at that price range.
Yes.
It's a perfectly balanced rear-wheel drive platform.
It's weird that an
with
Aston Martin is the beginning of the access to a certain amount of fundamental features.
Yeah, and obviously it has everything else. It's cool and comfortable. So I think that is probably at the top of my list, or I think I would have actually just bought something else other than it.
So where's this?
This is actually really, it's in a similar spot. Like,
It's in top 5.
Weirdly, it's parallel, not above or below. In an alternate universe or time in my life.
Let me throw some things out there that you'd not be doing, that you'd be eschewing. You'd be eschewing? You'd be eschewing.
Yeah.
A 987 Cayman.
Okay.
You'd be not getting.
Yeah.
A 370Z Nismo in a really nice condition.
Okay.
Camaro SS, lightly used.
Yeah, a good V8 Camaro wouldn't be that much. It would be an M2 is in there.
M2, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Been there, done that.
Supra.
Supra.
A mileaged Supra.
Yeah. Didn't we make a whole video on this?
We did, yeah. We included things like a C6Z06, a Z4M.
Yep.
You could get for that price.
Those are all.
So where's this? On just those alone, where's this sit?
Below them, because it's new and you're getting more money in the used market. But again, it sits parallel in a way because it's new and it's shiny and it's nice and it's special.
And warranted.
And if that's what you're into, like, I'll be honest, buying a used Aston Martin isn't for everybody. Like just last week, I spent a good portion of my time trying to figure out why the airbag on my steering wheel was rattling so much. So I went down a deep hole of research on Reddit and in forums, and I found out that the bushings that hold the screws for the airbag on have worn out. So I ordered them from a place online, and it took 3-4 days to get there. And then I had to dismantle my battery, take my steering wheel apart, and put the bushings back in. That's the Aston life.
God, it's boring.
Now it doesn't rattle, and I'm happy. But if you're not into that
It really
stuff,
is an old man's car, isn't it?
I was tinkering.
Yeah. Does the thing you ordered come with Werther's originals in the package?
No, but it came with a CD player, and I'm loving it. No, I think that's it. It's a different world. A used special high-end car.
Okay, so new sports car. This is it.
This is it. I don't know if there's much else, to be honest.
And if it never sees the track and you just want joy, MX-5.
Sure. Yeah. There you go.
That's because that's all. That is a cop-out answer. That's all there is.
Yeah, that's all there is.
Honda, bring out an S2000.
Please.
Everyone else is coming back to
For the love of God, Honda, just
Even
do it.
Nissan is bringing back a new Skyline and a GTR.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It's going to be good. It's going to get good.
Hopefully.
However, at the moment there is a lull. There's also a little bit of a lull on Throttle House because...
Yeah, with Grand Tour stuff, James had a baby, there's not that many cars, we're sorry, more videos coming. We're back for the summer, full on.
Okay, so your version is the Hakone edition, which is the Holland, the Hollandaise, if we're going citrus and using.
Yeah, the Hollandaise, yeah.
I don't have a name for mine. Not great.
It should be Engel's son.
Engel's son?
Like son.
Engel's son, like Doyley's son?
Yeah, like...
Mr. Doyley, it's the Mr. Doyley edition.
Like James' son.
I'd stick Doyley's in it.
Engel's son.
Yeah. If you wanted to go for a sauce like Yuzu, you could sort of do... Yeah, Engel's... Ponzu. Ponzi. It's my Ponzi scheme. Engel's man juice.
I think my favorite... Oh, okay, we'll end. The people that know Street Sharks will go like, holy Street Sharks, I forgot about them.
They're coming back.
They're making
Wait a minute. Are these the guys with the sharks as heads?
Yeah, and they rollerblade.
Oh.
They rollerblade around and punch
yeah.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we got that on film if you want to. I'm still rolling.